What if saving humanity meant losing the one person who taught you how to be human again? That's the brutal moral paradox at the heart of The Last of Us, and by the end of this story, you'll understand why one man's choice to save a girl destroyed everything. Twice. We're diving into the complete saga of Joel and Ellie across 2 games that redefined storytelling in gaming. This is a tale of survival, revenge, and whether love can exist in a world where every breath could be your last. Let's begin where it all fell apart. September 2013, Outbreak Day. The world ended on a Thursday. Joel Miller, a single father living in Austin, Texas, is celebrating his birthday with his daughter Sarah and his brother Tommy. But something's wrong. News reports flood in about a mysterious infection spreading across South America, turning people into mindless, violent creatures. The culprit? A mutated strain of Cordyceps fungus that had jumped from insects to humans, hijacking their brains and transforming them into savage predators driven only by the instinct to spread. As chaos erupts, Joel, Sarah, and Tommy attempt to flee the city. In the pandemonium, their car crashes, and Joel carries his injured daughter through burning streets while the military establishes martial law. Then comes the moment that breaks Joel forever. A soldier receives orders to eliminate them. Shots ring out. Tommy kills the soldier, but it's too late. Sarah has been shot in the stomach. As Joel desperately tries to save her, she dies in his arms, leaving a wound that will never heal. But here's where it gets interesting. The infection doesn't spread randomly. The Cordyceps infiltrated the global food supply through flour and sugar products, which explains why Joel, Sarah, and Tommy weren't infected initially. They avoided eating pancakes, biscuits, and cake that morning. Pure luck saved them from becoming hosts to a fungus that would reshape humanity forever. 20 years later, a broken world. Fast forward to 2033. Civilization has collapsed. Survivors huddle in militarized quarantine zones ruled by FEDRA, the Federal Disaster Response Agency. A rebel group called the Fireflies fights for democracy and searches desperately for a cure. And Joel? He's become a hardened smuggler in Boston, a shell of the man who once sang to his daughter. He survived by shutting down every emotion, doing whatever it takes to live one more day. Joel and his partner Tess track down a weapons dealer named Robert who betrayed them. Before Tess kills him, Robert reveals he sold their guns to the Fireflies. This leads them to Marlene, the Fireflies leader, who offers a deal. Smuggle a teenage girl named Ellie out of the quarantine zone to rendezvous with other Fireflies, and they'll get double their stolen cash back. Here's the twist that changes everything. Ellie is immune to the Cordyceps infection. 3 weeks earlier, she'd been bitten by an infected while with her best friend Riley at an abandoned mall. Riley turned. Ellie didn't. She's the only known person in the world who carries the infection but doesn't succumb to it, making her humanity's potential salvation. Joel reluctantly agrees to the job, seeing Ellie as just cargo, but as they navigate through hordes of infected, from runners in the early stages to blind, echolocating clickers whose skulls have been split open by fungal growth, to massive bloaters covered in armor like fungal plating, something unexpected happens. Joel starts to care. The journey that changed everything. Their first major crisis comes at the State House. The Fireflies are all dead, killed by Fedra soldiers. Worse, Tess has been bitten during their escape from infected. Knowing she's doomed, Tess makes a choice. She believes Ellie's immunity can save humanity, so she sacrifices herself, buying Joel and Ellie time to escape by facing down approaching soldiers alone. Joel decides their best bet is finding his brother Tommy, a former Firefly who might know where to take Ellie. They head to Billstown, where Joel's contact helps them acquire a working vehicle. But Pittsburgh brings new horrors. Not all dangers in this world are infected. Human survivors, desperate and brutal, have become bandits controlling the city. In Pittsburgh, Joel and Ellie meet 2 brothers, Henry and his younger brother Sam. Despite Joel's distrust, Ellie bonds with Sam, finding someone close to her age in this nightmare. The group plans their escape together, and for a moment, there's hope. Then tragedy strikes. Sam has been hiding an infection from everyone. That night, he turns and attacks Ellie. Henry shoots his little brother to save her, then immediately turns the gun on himself, unable to live with what he's done. It's a brutal reminder that in this world, hope is often just another way to get hurt. By fall, Joel and Ellie reach Wyoming and find Tommy, who's built a fortified settlement near a hydroelectric dam with his wife Maria. Joel contemplates leaving Ellie with Tommy, frightened by how much he's come to care for her. When Ellie discovers Joel tried to abandon her, she's devastated. They argue, and Joel tells her she's not his daughter, but he immediately regrets it. The truth is, Ellie has become what Sarah was, not a replacement, but a reason to feel again, to be human again. Joel changes his mind, and together they ride to the University of Eastern Colorado, where Tommy believes Fireflies are stationed. The university is abandoned, but they learn the Fireflies relocated to Salt Lake City. As they leave, bandits attack. Joel is severely wounded, impaled on rebar. In a role reversal, Ellie now becomes the protector, desperately trying to save the man who saved her. Winter, Ellie's trial by fire. Winter brings Ellie's darkest chapter. With Joel unconscious and dying, she hunts for food and encounters David, a seemingly friendly man who trades medicine for deer meat. But David's group are the bandits from the university, and he's their leader. Worse, they're cannibals. David captures Ellie, and things take a horrifying turn when he reveals twisted intentions toward her. Meanwhile, Joel recovers enough to search for Ellie, torturing David's men to find her location. Ellie escapes David's cage and confronts him in a burning restaurant, ultimately killing him with a machete in one of the game's most intense sequences. Joel arrives just in time to pull a traumatized Ellie from the inferno. She's no longer the kid who started this journey. She's been forced to become a survivor, just like Joel. Spring, the choice that broke the world. April 2034. Joel and Ellie finally reach Salt Lake City. As they navigate sewers to reach the Firefly Hospital, Ellie can't swim and nearly drowns. Joel saves her with CPR, but they're both knocked unconscious by a Firefly patrol and brought to St. Mary's Hospital. Joel wakes up to devastating news from Marlene. The Fireflies have been studying the Cordyceps infection for years, and Ellie's immunity is their breakthrough. The fungus has grown in Ellie's brain, but mutated in a way that prevents symptoms. To develop a vaccine, they must extract it from her brain, a surgery that will kill her. The Fireflies are preparing to operate on the unconscious Ellie without her consent, believing one life is worth saving millions. Here's where Joel faces an impossible choice. He's already lost one daughter. He can't lose another, regardless of what it means for humanity. In one of gaming's most controversial sequences, Joel goes on a rampage through the hospital, killing Firefly after Firefly. He reaches the operating room and shoots the surgeon preparing to cut into Ellie's brain. He carries her unconscious body out of the hospital, and when Marlene tries to stop him, pleading that sacrificing Ellie could save humanity, Joel kills her too. When Ellie wakes up, Joel lies to her. He tells her the Fireflies found dozens of immune people, that none of the tests worked, that they've stopped looking for a cure. As they approach Tommy's settlement in Jackson, Ellie makes Joel swear he's telling the truth. He looks her in the eyes and swears. She responds with a simple, "Okay," but the doubt in her voice suggests she knows. 4 years later, the consequences. By 2038, Joel and Ellie have settled into life in Jackson, but their relationship is strained. Ellie discovered the truth about the hospital by returning to Salt Lake City and finding evidence of what really happened. The realization that Joel robbed her of her purpose, that he condemned humanity to save her, creates a rift between them. Yet beneath the anger, there's still love. The night before everything falls apart, Ellie tells Joel she'll try to forgive him. It's not much, but it's a start. Then Abby arrives. Dr. Jerry Anderson was the surgeon Joel killed at St. Mary's Hospital, and Abby is his daughter. She spent 4 years searching for Joel, driven by the same rage that will soon consume Ellie. When Joel and Tommy save Abby from a horde of infected and bring her to their safe house, she realizes she's found her father's killer. Surrounded by her crew from the Washington Liberation Front in Seattle, Abby tortures and beats Joel to death with a golf club while Ellie is forced to watch, powerless to stop it. Seattle, Ellie's descent into vengeance. Ellie, Dina, and Tommy travel to Seattle, hunting everyone present at Joel's murder. But Abby isn't alone. She's part of the WLF, a militia group at war with a religious cult called the Seraphites. As Ellie cuts a bloody path through Seattle, she kills Abby's friends one by one: Jordan, Nora, Owen, and his pregnant girlfriend Mel. The moment Ellie realizes she killed a pregnant woman is when the cost of revenge becomes undeniable. She's covered in Mel's blood, and for the first time, she sees what she's becoming, the same monster she's hunting. Meanwhile, we learn Abby's side of the story. After killing Joel, she finds no peace. just emptiness. She meets Yara and Lev, two young Seraphites trying to escape their cult. Abby risks everything to save them, finding redemption in protecting others the way Joel protected Ellie. When Yara sacrifices herself to save Abby from WLF soldiers, Abby and Lev escape together, only to return and find Owen and Mel dead. At the theater where Ellie's group is hiding, Abby arrives seeking vengeance for her friends. She shoots Tommy, kills Jesse, and holds Ellie at gunpoint. By every metric, Abby has the right to kill Ellie. She's murdered all of Abby's friends. But Lev, the young Seraphite Abby saved, reminds her that this isn't who she is anymore. Abby spares Ellie and Dina, choosing to break the cycle of violence even after everything Ellie has done. The farmhouse, a brief peace. Months pass. Ellie and Dina are living on a farm near Jackson with Dina's baby, JJ. It seems like a peaceful ending, until Tommy arrives with new information about Abby's location in Santa Barbara, California. The revenge quest isn't over for Tommy, and his visit reignites Ellie's obsession. Despite Dina's pleas, despite having finally found some semblance of peace, Ellie abandons her family to finish what she started. Dina warns her, if she leaves, she won't be there when she returns. Santa Barbara. The final confrontation. In California, Ellie infiltrates a slaver camp run by the Rattlers and finds Abby and Lev crucified on a beach, left to die. They're emaciated, broken. Ellie frees them, and for a moment it seems like she'll let them go. But as Abby and Lev reach their boat, Ellie has another PTSD flashback of Joel's bloodied face, and she realizes she can't move forward without confronting this one last time. She forces Abby to fight by threatening Lev. What follows is one of the most brutal fights in gaming. Both women are physically and emotionally broken. Abby bites off two of Ellie's fingers. Ellie overpowers the weakened Abby and begins drowning her in the ocean. Finally, after everything, she'll get her revenge. Then comes another flashback. Joel sitting on a porch with his guitar, the night Ellie told him she'd try to forgive him. In that moment, Ellie realizes something crucial. If she could find it in herself to forgive Joel for what he did, for robbing her of her purpose and lying to her for years, then maybe she can forgive Abby too. The cycle of violence has to end somewhere, and it ends here, with mercy. Ellie releases Abby. They exchange no words. Abby and Lev escape on the boat, presumably to find the reformed Fireflies at Catalina Island. Ellie watches them disappear into the fog. The empty house. Ellie returns to the farmhouse to find it abandoned. Dina and JJ are gone. She's lost everything. Joel, Dina, her family, even two fingers that prevent her from properly playing the guitar Joel taught her on. She tries to play the song Joel sang to her, but she can't. The physical manifestation of what revenge has cost her is right there in her ruined hands. But in that empty house, Ellie finally achieves what she's been seeking: closure. Not through revenge, but through forgiveness. Of Abby, and most importantly, of herself. She leaves the guitar behind and walks away, finally ready to move forward. The Last of Us isn't just about survival in a post-apocalyptic world. It's about the impossible choices love forces us to make, and whether we can forgive those who make them. Joel chose Ellie over humanity. Ellie chose vengeance over peace, then chose mercy over vengeance. Abby chose revenge, then redemption, then chose to walk away instead of perpetuating more violence. In the end, The Last of Us asks one final, devastating question. In a world where everyone has lost everything, what does it mean to be the last of us? The answer isn't found in the destination, but in who we choose to be along the way, and whether we can find the strength to break the cycles that destroy us from within. And that's the complete story of The Last of Us, a tale of fungal apocalypse, found family, impossible choices, and the brutal cost of love in a world that's forgotten what it means to be human.